It's an honor today to have Professor Ganeshi Lal, Honorable Governor, His Excellency amongst us. As we all know perhaps, many of us may know, Sir has been a professor of mathematics. Welcome to the family of media teachers, sir. And you'll have a different flavor today perhaps in this next 1 hour. Professor B.K. Kuthiala, sir, sitting there, former Vice Chancellor of Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism, and currently the chairperson of Haryana State Higher Education Council. I often say he is a Mathadis of media education community. Thank you, sir, for being here. Mr. Bhartruhari Mahtab, Honorable Member of the Parliament, and the editor of Prajatantra, editor-publisher of Prajatantra. Sir was just now telling how Prajatantra in 1932 was banned by the British for its role, its positive role in Indian freedom struggle, and how his father, in whose memory we are organizing the program today, had to revive it after several years of hardships. It's a matter of pride that today we are developing development communication in memory of such a person. He has also been the first Chief Minister of Odisha, but what's more important in this context is the founding of the newspaper and sustaining it amidst all pressures. It's also an honor to have the current Vice Chancellor of Kushabhau Thakre University of Journalism, Dr. M.S. Parmar, here. I remember Dr. Parmar first when he was heading media education in Devi Ahilyabai University in Indore, and how a senior professor like him was so ecstatic and happy to show me around the entire infrastructure, which was by far a smart infrastructure in media and communication at that point of time, several years ago. It's also an honor to have Professor Somendra Mohan Patnaik, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Utkal University. We are waiting to hear his keynote address a few minutes from now. Dr. Shahid Rasool, Director of Commonwealth Education Media Center for Asia, SEMCA, there, second last from that end. Very interestingly, Dr. Rasool had produced 300 educational documentaries earlier before taking over the charge of SEMCA, and he has been the professor of mass communication, particularly of television production in Kashmir University, taking media and communication to far distant Kashmir. It's also a pleasure to have the only, at this point, the only lady member on the dais, Professor Nisha Pawar, the head of the Department of Media, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. We all know Kolhapur for the chappals that they produce from that place, very famous Kolhapuri chappals. Today you'll have another aspect of Kolhapur before you, a professor from there who would be speaking. I have the pleasure to, in brief, in 2 to 3 minutes, give the theme presentation of this conference. As a former Dean of Symbiosis and Amity Universities, and currently the Dean of Media of Pearl Academy in Delhi and Mumbai, it is indeed my pleasure that Dr. Professor Upendra Padhi has invited. And I must say, the entire team, Dr. Padhi and the entire team, are fabulous. You have brought Bhubaneswar in the national map of media education through this fabulous program today. I mean, the gathering of 30, 40 senior professors and heads. In the morning, we were taking a picture together. There were 3 vice chancellors, 5 deans, and several HODs in one frame. It's rarely you can get such a thing in one single frame. I have already shared it on Facebook and all social media. It's tough to bring such a large number of people, seniors from all over the country, and very interestingly from east, south, west, and north, all parts of India. I have seen other national programs where there are very rarely senior professors from South India, but here are many more, as you will find throughout the 3 days. On the theme, we often use 2 words, development and growth, almost interchangeably, but perhaps they are not interchangeable in a real sense, because development is more holistic, more participative. It may or may not have a high GDP or a high per capita income, which is more growth. But development is more participative, more social in nature. And this development needs to be communicated for the people to participate. So you need research, you need awareness, you need social and behavior change, and you also need communication for policy changes. The fact that sanitation today is a major issue in national policy is a matter of development communication. So we have the Swachh Bharat mission. So development is a communicative process in that sense. It is expressed, understood, and amplified through media. So while development ideas can be thought in certain circles at policymakers level or intellectuals level, unless it's communicated and amplified, it does not become a movement. Anything, whether it's a Digital India or a Swachh Bharat mission, it can only become a movement when the mission of development is taken to the masses. So therefore, use of communication to facilitate socio-economic and political development, which is people-centric, is development communication in that sense. I'm indeed happy that there has been a sort of development communication for political participation in franchise in the Red Corridor of Chhattisgarh recently. And for the first time, several booths which never voted, people have voted in Chhattisgarh in the just ended election. So development communication in that sense is not just about journalism only. It also involves social marketing. Marketing of ideas of social development, health, and many others. Behavior change, social change, putting up role models in front of the society who are role models, let's say, with respect to ecological conservation. People who are in the forefront of the green battle of the country. They have to be put in front of the society. And it needs, therefore, a free, independent, pluralist media, which is in public interest. It needs, in today's context of convergence and internet, a concept of net neutrality, because a net neutrality scenario can only ensure a free flow of development information in the country. Community media access, birth, sustenance, and access of community media. And freedom of expression not only for the privileged few, but for the marginalized, which is often missed out. These are some of the aspects that perhaps we'll take up in the next 3 days. So we are here for 72 hours. And in these 72 hours, at the end of it, I believe we'll have made some new friends, revived old friendships. I was so happy to see Nagraj sir after a long time, very long time. Vasuki ji after a very long time. So we revive our old friendships. We take back certain memories. Upendra sir, you have made the teachers heroes. You have put up standees of photographs of all the speakers. We have never faced, we are highly grassrooted, ordinary teachers, but you have made heroes out of us. Thank you anyway. So this is a small memory that we can take. We will take back memory of development media research. And 150 papers, I suppose, would be presented over the next 2-3 days. We take back the memory of this media research. We take back case studies of actual development media practice, because many editors, producers, and journalists are also speaking. So we take back memories of development communication at 3 levels. 1, the news, many development stories. 2, even at entertainment. You know the program Satyameva Jayate, we all know about it, and there are many other programs which uphold development media in the mainstream television channels. And also about social marketing. We know the examples of polio. We know the example of Swachh Bharat mission, how social marketing of development ideas have been done. There are many papers on these issues that we shall be knowing. And perhaps we will also know a lot and take back that awareness about how to integrate theory of communication, research in communication with the practice of communication in the context of development. These are some of the takeaways that we'll have. I would also add to it, there's a huge impact of media convergence happening in real life. Online, offline, on air, on ground, and on mobile. 5 channels of communication are converging. And it's now easier to take causes, development issues to the people. Perhaps this is another area we'll look into. So these are the various areas that we'll look into over the next 72 hours. Apart from making friends and reviving friendships, old friendships, and having a lot of memories of this beautiful city, which is a capital city, a smart city, and a temple city. Modernity and tradition blending together. Thank you very much.